Hello everyone, my name is Webweaver and welcome back to another episode of I'm Sliding Ever So Closer to the Microphone. I'm getting back on the grind set of recording WAs daily, although I will admit I'm a little bit late on this one. I've been trying to recreate the Arcadian character that got showcased in the live letter, and, you know, obviously you're going off of one image where she's partially in the shadows, and the lighting is weird, so it's kind of difficult to tell her skin color, her makeup color, her hair color, and all that. But I think I'm getting pretty close to something that I'm happy with. I think it's really, you know, minor spoilers for the Arcadian, but the next tier is called Cruiserweight, and one of the characters, the only character that we've seen highlighted so far, is a Lalafell, and I think that's pretty neat. I think that, like, you know, you have the heavyweight division, which is, you know, lightweight, heavyweight division, which is, M1 through 4S, and then the next division is Cruiserweight, and it's like, you love to see it, chat. I honestly, because they did, what, 2 Hyurs and then 2 Mikotes, I kind of forgot that they could do other races as well, and so it's like, you know, are we gonna get a Hrothgar, a Rogadin, a Lalafell, you know, maybe we're gonna see a Vieira at some point? I don't know. Shit's gonna be crazy, dude. My static gets mad at me when I call, Wicked Thunder a cat girl. And it's like, okay, I know that she's not, like, you know, her sister is, like, literally a cat, but she's a Mikote, and she has cat ears, you know? So it's like, she's a cat girl, right? Now, I get it, she's called Wicked Thunder and not Black Cat, but, you know. Anyways, what the hell am I yapping about? I don't know. My static started clearing Wicked Thunder pretty regularly, and every time we clear, I die, and so I have a green, and it's like the most sad thing. I really, really need to get a blue before 7.2 comes out. Dude, I'd be miserable if I didn't get a blue. We're gonna do it 6 more times minimum, because, like, you know, people gotta get their mounts and their weapons and stuff. But, let's see. I'm kind of delaying, because I forgot to look at what characters we played recently. I know we did a Haru run the other day and a Toshiaki run, but I don't think I could get away with a Juri run, right? I'm always talking about Juri. I'm always playing Juri. There's no way the last Juri episode was 2 weeks ago, right? Like, there's genuinely no way. Like, we did Juri on, like, the Endless mode, right? But does that count? That was 5 days ago. That's ancient history. And Aiko was the one in the thumbnail. So, I think it works. Curious Birthmark, sure. Just gonna go next in line for whatever we've got. And we're not gonna do the True Believer achievement for the small candle until we also do Reign of Spiders for Yashiro, so just keep that in mind, put that in your back pocket and smoke it. Put that in your back pocket and smoke it. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Put that in your back pocket. I combine the two in my brain, and then I said it out loud. And I don't really know why. I'm cooked, chat. You know, I haven't really played the Bazaar today at all. I did, like, 1 run while I was eating lunch. And, brother, sister, Envy, it's so cold, okay? It's so cold. It's Arctic out there. It's Arctic freaking conditions, okay? You know, it's hazardous to walk outside. And right now I'm wearing a jacket, multiple layers of clothes, got my heater on, and I have multiple blankets on my bed, but it's all not enough. I'm grabbing the quilt from the cupboard and throwing that shit on the wash cycle just so that I could put it in the dryer, and then get that shit nice and toasty for later tonight. Like, this shit's awful, dude. It's so cold. We had, like, a weekend of, like, good weather, and then it just, like, it all went to hell. And even then, it wasn't that good weather. It was still cold. It's just we went from, like, Arctic to cold, and then back to Arctic, and it's like, I don't know, brother. I don't know, sister. Now, what do you really want to do here? I mean, I guess we're just gonna kinda... I don't know, I'm delaying. I'm delaying. Hurry up and play the game. Hurry up and play the game. Get the wall run going. Listen, if we get like a good run and I get like something like good, you know, and I can just stop paying attention, then the run's gonna be over in 15 minutes. So you're gonna love me delaying the run by 5 minutes at the start so that you have a 20-minute episode to watch. Okay? I'm just saying. I've put some thought into this. Just a little bit. Not a lot, though. It is true. Sailors, Botany, Mermaids, Painting Festival. I think we can start our night out with a little bit of botany, you know? But listen, the moment this episode's, like, rendering or some shit like that, my ass is going under the covers, under the blanket. Shit's too cold, brother. Shit's too cold, sister. And you already know it, NB. It is way too cold. Yeah, sure. Do we sell the old coin? This is a gamble. It's a gamble that I'm taking. Nothing ever happens, I'm all in. I wish nothing ever happens, bros were right. Hey, listen, by the way, you know, I don't normally do, like, actually serious PSAs at all. But if you're, like, an American who's watching this right now, and you're not up to date on your vaccinations, I'm not even talking about the global hootenanny, alright? I'm just talking, like, basic shit, like polio, you know, measles, mumps, rubella, whatever the hell it is. You know, you might want to think about getting vaccinated, because that shit's not going to be around for much longer. We got funny RFK. I cannot believe that both Tulsi and RFK got through. It's like the most, like, death cult, anti-American thing I can even think of, brother. Like, okay, Tulsi, literally, this is not a liberal hysteria joke thing. Literally a Russian asset. They were celebrating on Russian national TV. They were calling her our girl is gonna get in. And listen, you already know Tulsi's on the enemy list, alright? The for fun as a joke enemy list that is not serious. Because, I mean, now she's the head of all spy agencies in the United States, so she could just have, she could just hear about this and be like, alright, that Webweaver, send in the the assassins. Send in the 40k office assassinorum. And it's like, I'm cooked. I'm absolutely cooked. You know, so, like, obviously as a joke, you know, not a real enemies list that would ever be acted upon, more like one of the, you know, the simple flips enemy list, where you randomly put people on it, and then it goes on a wiki article, you know, that sort of thing? Yeah. Anyways, like, I can't believe that shit, dude. I can't believe that shit at all. Like, what the hell, man? I guess we'll just put it on the, what's doomed? The hospital? That's crazy. I guess we'll just put it on the village for now and just kind of, like, vibe, but, you know, Tulsi getting confirmed is insane. And, like, I have no idea. Like, here's the thing, you know, when you... when you hear about stuff like this, right? You think to yourself, okay, you know, they're just posturing... You know, they don't actually want to burn America to the ground, because if they burn America to the ground, then their quadrillion dollars doesn't mean anything, you know? They should just, you know, it's gonna be a boring, like, dystopia where everybody's life gets worse and people make more money, and, you know, it's just like, you know, that sort of thing. But giving it over to Tulsi Gabbard? Like, what the hell? And then you watch, like, the Democrats giving her the hostile job interview, and it's like, you like Edward Snowden, you're bad. And it's like, I don't know, brother, I think maybe we could focus more on, like, our Russian girl, on national Russian TV, or, I don't know, like, the chemical weapon apology. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. It seems like maybe there are a little bit more you know, maybe there's a little bit more going on here than just Snowden bad, as it were, but I don't know. I'm not a democratically elected politician, so what would I know? And then also, like, you know, I get why, like, a lot of, like, Republican politicians, they don't care about hypocrisy, because they like to play with words, and they allow themselves to play with what words mean, and they don't really care, and they delight in the fact that their opponents, you know, care about what words mean. Are we really, is this really second enemy? Did we even fight anybody? No, this is first enemy, okay. But, like, if you're a Republican, right, you can't be happy about a Democrat being nominated for this, right? Right? Like, she's a Democrat. She ran for president as a Democrat. But, like, I don't know. I don't know anything anymore. I don't know. I thought it was gonna be a boring dystopia. I thought the nothing ever happens bros would be right, but, you know, you get rid of woke, you get rid of DEI, and then planes start falling from the goddamn skies, and it's like, well... I think we just kind of do a little stock standard here, but I don't know what mystery I want to do next. Mermaids, peculiar painting. I mean, we could just, like, go into Fear Festival, right? The forest is safe, so there's not even, like, a threat level thing that we gotta worry about. But yeah, listen, if my pilot isn't a woke DEI hire who has pronouns, I don't want to get on that plane. I don't want to get on that plane, dude. And then, you know, we've got, like, RFK Jr., which, okay, I get why you probably want RFK Jr. if you're a Republican, just because he's like, actually, no, I don't at all, he's not even loyal! He called Trump Hitler, like 80 other people in Trump's cabinet did, and he was a third-party candidate. Now, obviously, he was playing spoiler, and he was always gonna join up with them, but, like, I don't know. Like, you know, the president took credit for Operation Warp Speed, right? Like, that was his big thing, was the vaccines for the global hootenanny, and then the health guy is, Mr. Anti-vaccine. It doesn't make any sense, man. The lunatics are running the asylum. I ain't got nothing, bro. The world's scary, sister. It's true, NB. You already know. You already know. Shit's terrifying. So yeah, I don't know, like, if you're an American, get your vaccines updated. And if you're a soon-to-be American, aka Canadian, or, you know, you live in Greenland, you might also want to get your vaccines updated, because we're gonna liberate your healthcare systems. It's crazy, dude. Like, listen, I'm sorry for being all political during a WA episode, but we do need to fulfill the prophecy that Horg said of I need to go too woke, and then I need to go broke, alright? I need to get canceled for being woke, okay? I'm just following the script that the writers have put out for me, alright? I'm just following the script, okay? You don't need to be mean to me. But, this is a little sketchy, because it's like, obviously, you don't want to increase the horror meter too much, but it is what it is. But I don't know, the world's just scary, dude. Like, you know, I'm not really one of those people who, like, ignored politics, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not one of those people who, like, ignored politics to the extent of, like, oh, you know, I don't think about politics, you know, I'm insulated from them, I'm insulated from the consequences of them. So I've always I've always tried to be, like, politically aware of what's going on, right? And then, you know, some political things did affect me, and then with this new administration, it's affecting everybody. And I think that's going to be a very weird thing to see. And the thing is, I say everybody, and then somebody's going to be like, that's a very American-centric view of the world. First of all, sorry, but a lot of countries are dependent on the United States in one way or another. And the dollar is, like, I don't know if it's like a global reserve currency necessarily, but it is used for like the... Here's the thing. If America being shitty didn't affect the rest of the world, why is it that in like the 2008 housing crisis, there was a global financial crisis and America recovered from it better than everybody else, right? Like, maybe I'm insane, but I don't know. I think I think the world is kind of driving everybody insane. I don't know. I don't know, like, a single person in my personal life who isn't at least a little bit, like, constantly stressed out about what's happening. And, you know, you could say that's the kind of people that you put yourself around, and, you know, fair enough, right? I think that's fair to say. But also, like, shit's getting kind of crazy, man. Shit's getting kind of crazy. And I think the important thing is that, you know, you just gotta, you know, you got a Nico Robin, I want to live gif no matter what, right? Like, that's what you gotta do, chat. That's what you just gotta lock it in, right? But, damn. Like, I mean, this is one of the reasons why I don't want to record World of Horror much anymore, is because it's like, and that's not a Freudian slip. You know the WAs have been declining in episode frequency because I've been genuinely upset recently. And so you know, when I'm genuinely upset or genuinely stressed and I hit record, you get something like this. Sorry about that. It's why I like the Bazaar, because the Bazaar will save me. The Bazaar will save me. I will simply go to the intergalactic sci-fi spaceport known as the Bazaar, where multiple worlds meet, and then I will hero build myself a you know, a disappointing journey to win build, and then cry myself to sleep as I die on like day 8 or day 6 with only 2 wins, and they were against people who had worse builds than I. But I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I mean, we're just playing World of Horror, you know? We're just chilling. Now, would you want to live in Shiikawa or the real world? I think the answer is you'd probably want to live in the real world still. However, there is something very appealing about the idea of, like, you can power scale yourself really quickly in the WoW world, right? Like, there's some crazy shit going on in this game where it's like regular humans are like scaling themselves to incredible amounts of power and strength very quickly. Because this shit, like, I don't know if it's still considered like a day system, because obviously, like, you can change the calendar here, and it just goes by one day. But these are, like, theoretically supposed to be, like, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, that sort of thing. Theoretically, I'm not gonna say that it is, but, like, theoretically, right? And, you know, you can get enough strength to, like, punch out an eldritch entity relatively easily. You can increase your knowledge and charisma, so you're a lot smarter relatively easily. So I guess it kind of depends on, like, what's going on, right? Because you have to deal with a bunch of horrifying eldritch monstrosities, and I can't imagine the rest of the world is as stable, or is more stable, right? Like, if there are eldritch monstrosities creeping, it probably is, like, a radius of influence thing, because there's a cult in WoW that is, or in Shiikawa, that is specifically located in Shiikawa that's trying to bring about the end of the world, obviously. I just dropped a paperclip. But, so, I still, like, there's gotta be, like, you know, urban legends or monsters that are in other parts of the world, that are causing people trouble. So it's a very dangerous world to live in. But also, like, you're kinda, like, you're kinda goated, though, like, if you think about it. Like, you're kinda, you can be very strong in this world pretty easily. And I think that's kind of an appealing idea. if I may be so bold as to say, just because of how fast you can power scale yourself in this world, right? Like, you know, the playable characters that we've got, they literally can get so strong that they can kill, like, you know, these young adults can, like, kill a finger of an eldritch entity in, like, half a second, you know? Like, that's how powerful these people can get. And they can get powerful pretty fast. Like, they can get pretty strong pretty quick. Like, I'm not gonna lie, chat. I'm not gonna lie. And so, yeah, we're gonna take a little bit of horror meter there, but it is what it is. We're not fighting the boss, though. Absolutely not. I'll take a little bit extra horror meter to make that happen. Just to make us feel a little bit safer there, but, when you re-enter the room, Emmy is nowhere to be seen. That's crazy. I wonder where she is. I hope she's having a good time. So I think, you know, real world is still the fast preferable place to be, but, you know, I don't know. I'm worried about, you know, we're talking about, like, normal anecdote stuff that's, like, appropriate to tackle in the scale of a 25-minute World of Horror video, right? But I feel like, for the most part, pretty worried about the state of the world. Yeah, it's not looking too good. And then, of course, like, you know, you look at the Democrats. And listen, I know I'm doing the meme where it's like Republicans do something, like, evil. Like, they institute National Kill Puppies Day. And then the Democrats are like, that's wrong. And then you get mad at the Democrats because you're like, do more than just say it's wrong. But, like, it's so dumb to see, like, you go on... you go on, like, Twitter, and you look at the Democrats' Twitter handle, right? And they're like, we made Elon Musk cry at 4 a.m., and they're quote tweeting, like, Elon Musk replying to them, and it's like, cool. Or you go on there, and it's like, every single Democrat voted unanimously against Tulsi Gabbard. Well, she still got in. You know, it's like, I think Democrats need to be mean, and they need to be, like, evil. You know what I mean? Like, I think we need dark woke. I think we do need dark woke, chat. I think that is real. I think we need dark woke. I do think we need dark woke. You want to know why? Because, I don't, like, when Democrats have a majority or a supermajority, they do things that meaningfully improve people's lives. Some of this shit is mean tested, and that's, like, really annoying and stupid. Like, you shouldn't means test things. You should just, you know, do it big for everybody. But regardless, you know, they do a lot of stupid means tested stuff, but they do some things that are good. And, you know, there's just sort of, like, a natural decay of the world where everybody's life is gradually getting worse. And so, you know, the Democrats don't really do anything meaningful to stop it because they're kind of stupid, right? But, you know, they keep thinking that there's, like, some procedure or law or higher authority or anything that will get them out of what they're doing right now, and it's really annoying. Because it's like, brother, they don't care. They're just gonna break the law. Like, they break the law, and then you don't do anything about it. Remember when Drenched was permanent, by the way? Drenched used to be permanent. Now it's not. That's pretty cool. I like how Drenched is no longer permanent. I mean, I could take this, and then we could get, like, pretty nice dexterity. I think that basically guarantees, though, that Juri's gonna be eaten by the horror, but, you know, is what it is, I suppose. Morbid mermaids. Are we gonna level up 2 more times? If we get into fights, yeah, sure. Because I would like to get charisma to 8. That'd be a pretty big, that'd be a pretty big flex on Juri, getting all of your lighthouse stats to 8. That'd be pretty cool. I don't know if it's gonna happen, though, but it would be pretty neat. We would have to get into a fight before the Mermaid Man, and then we'd have to kill the Mermaid Man. And then we also have to do things like this and have to not get an injury, but that's alright. I don't think we're going to be resting anytime soon unless something really, really bad happens, but I think it's all good. But, yeah, I don't know. I still can't get over that one JFK story where he literally just, like, killed a bear and then dumped its corpse in Central Park and then ran it over with a bicycle. Like, that's kind of insane. But yeah, no, I think, I think we need Dark Woke. Because, like, the Republicans, when they're in the minority, when they're in the, when they don't have power, they fight like hell. You know, they're always doing it big. You know, they're always going insane. I should have taken the sanity damage, honestly, but it's okay. They're always going crazy with it. We can, I think we kill. We take 2 damage a turn. We can get some pretty good hits in. Yeah, we get some pretty good hits in. Do 8. 9, actually. Branded? Yeah, it was branded. So, I mean... Not quite. Not quite. We'd have to... Because that's gonna do 23. Unless I'm dumb. I mean, I'll take final stretch, thank you very much. Oh, we're so close, we're so close. Time skip? Don't you time skip me. Don't you time skip me. We're so close to getting 8 on charisma. I mean, we're just fine. I do also not remember anything about the lighthouse for anything, so good luck to me. But I mean, we can't take stamina damage, so I think we're feeling pretty good. But yeah, no, I guess if you want, like, life advice from Webweaver... Also, we got all the perks, by the way. We got all the perks. Every single perk. We got every single perk, and we got all of our lighthouse stats to 8. So the lighthouse can't hurt us. That's pretty cool, right? Do we have Heart of Darkness? We do not have Heart of Darkness, so there's actually a chance that she lives. But yeah, I don't know. Life advice with Webweaver, make sure you got your vaccinations updated. Is this level 11 Juri? Holy crap, dude. That's a Steam screenshot. Is that a record, level 11 Juri? That's kind of nuts. Level 11 human Juri, 10 strength, 8 dex, 8 perception, 8 knowledge, 8 charisma, and 7 luck? Because we have outdoorsman? That's crazy. What an insane run, honestly. And what a miserable video to attach, what a miserable commentary to attach to such an insane run. Oh my god. Listen, I'm sorry. I'm miserable. we need hashtag dark woke. That's the we need vaccines and we need dark woke. That's true. We need to bring back joining the culture war on woke on the side of woke. I don't know. I think that you know, anglerfish swimming up to the surface and dying, and planes falling out of the sky. I think that's pretty scary, dude. I think we need to like I think we need to like realign. Unfortunately, I don't think we can realign because I don't think 2026 is getting us out of this one, gamers. I don't think it is. I think we burned the boats, unfortunately. But anyways, enough Doom posting. This is a Doom, you know, very funny. I am the one who took all the Doom onto myself. Juri was spared the Doom, she was spared the horror meter. But if I was Juri, I would get destroyed by the horror, alright? I would already be the horror, right? I would already be skinwalked, alright? So anyways, stay safe out there. Have a good one. And I'll see you on the next episode. Sorry that this episode sucked. Hopefully I've got it out of my system so that the next episode will not be dog shit. But I don't know, man. I cannot believe I just dropped a Another paperclip, sorry. I cannot believe that RFK Jr. and Tulsi Gabbard got in. Like, it doesn't even make sense. It doesn't even make sense, brother. It doesn't even make sense, sister. It's got nothing to do with sanity, right? Like, I can't believe I wanted the Nothing Ever Happens bros, and just to be correct, and we just get, like, a boring dystopia where nothing ever happens. But we're just constantly threatened with things happening so that we're all scared, right? But no, things are happening, unfortunately, and they're bad. They're overwhelmingly negative. I don't know, joining the war on Canada on the side of Canada, true. I should say for legal reasons that's a joke, because again, like, Tulsi Gabbard just literally might have me killed. Or, like, thrown in Gitmo, or thrown in an El Salvador prison camp. Because, fun fact, American citizens can be deported to El Salvador in a prison slave camp. It's very funny. And by that I mean it's awful. So yeah, stay safe out there. Have a good one. Bye!